everybody, what's up? This is Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. Now, I was on Anthony Spade's, live stream, and a caller called that talked about being suicidal, you know, and I did a video way back. Did a video on my channel that I'll link to. I'll link to this. But basically, man, the caller called and talked about being suicidal, man. And he was given, and even Joker, on another video, Joker had a video recently where he talked about suicide and, how a lot of men are taking their lives, at the young ages and so on. Now, Joker gave an advice that, that I thought about. I didn't really think about it until now. That I realized that, man, even if you go to a psychologist, now the question becomes, with what we know about society and how they're feminizing men and basically eliminating your ability to be about logic, with all the messages of, men and women are the same, when when logically and physically it makes no sense. So my thing is, what I've come to realize is it even, I don't think it's even safe to really talk to a psychologist. Think about it. A psychologist is trained to operate in the society and to tell you where you don't fit in, to tell you why your problems are that you're not fitting in and you're not doing, you're not working well enough to fit into the society. So in actuality, how can you trust a psychologist in a broken system? It's like, I know we reference Matrix a lot. It's like going into the Matrix and trying to get advice from one of those, I think it was Agent Smith that was chasing Neo. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to get advice with someone that's already plugged into the system. And to think about it, when you break it all down, to think about it, man, I think a psychologist is actually, if you break it down, it might be your death sentence in the society. Because, like, for example, let's say you're a male growing up in a single mother household, and she's teaching you nothing but negativity, or you're in a, she's teaching you to be vulnerable as a man, to expose yourself to be used by a woman and so on, like the caller who called Anthony Spade. So you go tell your psychologist this, that, all this openness and all this revealing my, revealing my nature and all that stuff, it's actually, it's setting me up to depend on and seek validation from women, to the point where, if I don't get that validation, I feel that I shouldn't exist. So the question becomes, and knowing that this psychologist, their job is to get you to fit into society. Their job isn't to actually tell you the truth. They believe that what they're selling you, that the society isn't broken, that you are. So you actually going to a psychologist, in the long run, is you setting yourself up, especially if you're a man who's awakened to what's going on, and the traps and the bevy of minds on the field of life, and that society is set up for you to end up in prison, incarcerated, homeless, or, what I'm saying, losing your children, and so on. And the reason I thought about it, about the psychologist, is that I thought about it and realized that, man, this psychologist is actually, they can write on the paper, they can diagnose whether you're insane or not. You know what I mean? What if you come to your psychologist and you say, yo, my wife is doing this and that, and she's manipulating this and that. I feel I'm being abused and all that. And what will this psychologist tell you? There's nothing wrong with your wife. You need to be more intimate. You need to follow orders. You need to listen more, and so on. So the thing is, you reaching out to a psychologist, a person that's aware of the system, that they don't believe it's broken or anything, that they're going to try to prescribe you drugs and so on because they want you to deny the truth that you're realizing, and they want you to deny the problem. They don't want you to face it or find a cure. You know what I'm saying? So when that happens, it's basically you're setting yourself up, and that psychiatrist is armed with all the licenses and paperwork to tell you you're not clinically sane. So if a psychologist is a feminist or a leftist or alt-right, whatever you want to call it, their agenda or whatever, if they see that you're walking outside of either piece and they want you to fit in, they could say you're legally insane. So I mean, in actuality, now, if you got real mental health issues, to a point where you can't control your own body and stuff like that, that's different. You could reach out and get some help. But if it's more on you're having some issues because you're waking up to the issues at hand that society's offering you as a man, then how can you trust a psychologist to help you when that psychologist is their whole job, and what they've been educated is how to make you fit into the system? You know what I'm saying? So, they offered that level of advice, and now I think about it, I'm like, man, that going to a psychologist for help, really, when in actuality you just need them to confirm what you're thinking logically, is basically a setup, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a setup for you to basically get written out in society as a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like the psychologist is basically, I don't have the word right now. So it becomes a matter of, man, you can't, it's like going to a psychologist is volunteering for the system to identify you as a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you have some problems with alcohol, drinking, and some substance abuse and stuff, certain things like that will make sense, what I mean, to ask for some help. But even then, what if the source of your drinking is how, how you're dealing with how anti-male and, how you're being attacked. You know what I'm saying? So what can you do then? So it becomes, to me, I look at a psychologist. I remember I had some problems, you know what I mean? I had some thoughts here and there, but my thing with going to a psychologist has always been, man, before I knew the whole MGTOW thing and the whole red pill perspective, my thing was, I go to a psychologist, maybe I'm having a little issue here and there. They want to make some money, and they write I got some problems, and they prescribe me some type of drug, and then they write that I'm not fit to work or anything like that unless I take these meds, and there's nothing wrong with it. So, but now you know what you know with the red pill and what's going on with society and MGTOW and all that. If you come to your psychologist, you try to talk to them and you tell them, man, you know, being a man, I feel like I'm in a minefield. I feel like, and I think, you know, I think, existing and while trying to live this life that I'm in a minefield, I'm being attacked on so many fronts as a man. I don't think, what I'm saying, I don't think, the society I'm in actually wants me. You know what I mean? They're pushing me and making me out to be something negative, and here's why. And you pinpoint why and all that. And a psychologist, let's say he's unaware of unaware of the red pill lens and what you see, sees you as an issue. You know what I'm saying? Sees you threatening their blue pill perspective of life. So they write on the papers that you're insane. You know what I'm saying? That you have mental issues, and who's gonna go against a psychologist, form of you? You know what I'm saying? So as a man, it's too risky in a sense, to go to a psychologist. Now, this young man, he was like 15 dealing with it, suicidal thoughts and all that. You know what I mean? And to me, the way you gotta deal with it, the way you gotta deal with that when you're so dependent on validation from a woman that it threatens your very existence. And I made a video about that. You could check out is that I think purpose becomes dangerous. Purpose becomes dangerous when you're not aware of your existence. You know what I'm saying? When you're not aware of how much your existence is worth. You know what I'm saying? Purpose becomes dangerous. Because, if your purpose has been set to receive female validation, you know what I'm saying? And you're unaware of your existence and how much it's worth, then you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be a threat to your own existence and try to take yourself out. So to me, man, I made a video on existence and how your existence has to be your priority in life. You know what I'm saying? Any threat to your existence, that's what you got to change. And that's why I say purpose is below existence, because your purpose, you can't fulfill it if you don't exist. So if there's a threat and you're not aware of the value of you existing and being here, then your purpose will have no point. Your purpose will basically be, since it's not built on a foundation of your awareness of your existence, your purpose will be easily to slip you towards self-destruction, you know. But I would say this, this was just a thought, but I would just say, man, with how well, with the fact that psychologists are all about fitting into society, is it really, I don't think it's really that safe. If you're a man, that's, aware of how society's operating, and with the course of the family court and everything that's going on, then the last thing, the most dangerous thing you could do is talk to a psychologist, because they're here to enforce a certain standard of society. They're not really here to enforce, whether you're looking at your existence in reality. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I would say, man, you know, I don't know, man. I don't think, I would say you gotta, being a man and then with this red pill thing, because you gotta understand the big thing about red pill thing is that back in before no fault divorce and the government really started attacking manhood and going all out, a lot of men used to reach out to each other, be in men only clubs, like it was like a fraternity, a brotherhood and all that. They used to talk to each other and, build one another up, you know, before the agenda became to remove any dependency on men, even by other men. You know what I'm saying? The government would rather that you go to a program they fund, the Big Brother Club, the whatever, you know, Big Brother Club or whatever. They rather you go to that than to have your own father or male guidance, you know. So in all honesty, man, a psychologist, how helpful is a psychologist when you're having some issues because you're waking up? You know what I'm saying? You're realizing what you truly face versus the reality they've given you. You know, so you know, a true threat might honestly be a psychologist because they gonna get you on meds, and especially if they look at you, oh, you're not trying to be a traditional man and this and that, and they're with the agenda, they're gonna destroy you, man. So to me, I would say, man, if you're a man and you're suicidal, I would say you want to reach out to men that have displayed a level of awareness and a level of logic, you know what I'm saying, versus trying to go to a psychologist because you don't know what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So, in closing, I would just say, but check out that video I made. It's called Existence Over Purpose. Live by the one strike. I'll see if I could link it here. And, you know, you gotta, if you're having suicidal thoughts, you know, you gotta reach out to your fellow men. You know what I mean? Ones that have a logical foundation. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could conversate with them, talk, and build yourself up. You know, because with everything going on, you know, with how much the psychologists are really all about, you know, you fitting into society, I don't think they're really about you facing, moving beyond the false illusion that society's selling you. You know what I'm saying? So you would be a threat in actuality, and then you're placing your fate in another person that might put their personal feelings against your logic and reasoning. But you know, this has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. Peace.